Hey, what's up, everybody? 2017 was a monumental year for gaming, and with it coming to a close, we thought we'd talk about our 5 favorite games we played this year. Now, there were way too many games that came out to play, so not every game is going to be on this list. But if a game you thought should be on this list isn't, go ahead and tell us in the comments, because it might be on our list to play.
Starting with our number 5 on the list, we have Sonic Mania. This game was just like completely just out of nowhere awesome to me because I wasn't following it. I was aware of its existence, and
yeah, I mean,
we'd seen a few attempts to go back to classic Sonic here and there, and they never ended up all that great. But this one had the level design down, the music down. You could play as Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles, which was awesome. The only thing I didn't like is you can't switch between them per level.
Yeah, that was a little odd.
And you can only co-op with Sonic and Tails. You can't co-op Sonic and Knuckles or Tails and Knuckles. Or
yeah,
that
like was.
But it did look like it had some really good boss fights, though.
Yeah, it had very good boss
that
fights.
Tetris one that you had a lot of trouble with.
The Tetris one was so fun.
Yeah.
And the garbage boss.
It's just overall a fantastic game, and Sega is starting to earn a little trust back. Not quite so much because Sonic Forces happened, but they're trying, you know.
Another really good game was Metroid, or is it Samus Returns or Return of Samus? I keep getting mixed up.
It's Samus Returns.
Okay.
Return of Samus is the original.
That's the
Samus
original
Returns is
the
remake.
Like it's a full-on remake. Though.
Yeah.
Like it is basically a new game.
Yeah, like this game takes a remake and just
like that
throws it out the window and goes with a whole new like style.
Hell,
they added bosses, they added powers, they added a map.
A map, pretty important.
Yeah.
In a Metroid game. Did the first one have a map?
No, it was on the Game Boy.
No, I mean the first Metroid.
Oh.
No. Maybe?
Oh, well,
not a
I
good
don't
one.
think so. I think Super Metroid was the first map.
Either way,
But
Samus Returns was amazing, and it was just like one of the sleeper hits for the 3DS this year, because there weren't too many of those. And the fact that they brought the second Samus back was incredible.
And in a day of HD remakes all over the place, it's really good to have a full-on remake so well done.
Speaking of high definition, though, probably the best graphical game on this list by far is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, that game is just gorgeous.
It is beautiful. I stopped like doing whatever I was doing so many times just to stop and like look at the scenery, because I was just like, oh man, this sunset is just hitting the Thunderjaw so beautifully. And I mean, you can't go wrong with their robot animals. Everyone says robot dinosaurs, but there's really only one dinosaur in the entire game. And I mean, it's just robot animals the whole time, and you're fighting them. You can even just shoot off their tanks for the resources and let them run away if you want.
Yeah.
Plus, you're fighting savages, and the story is fresh and cliche, but in a good way, and it just was very surprising at how good it is, especially for a new IP.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And the fact that PlayStation has a new heavy hitter exclusive is just one of the best things that could have happened for this game.
And next we have just the amazing, the fantastic Super Mario Odyssey. Holy crap, this game blew every other 3D Mario out of the water, in my opinion.
Yes.
It's one of the best Marios, probably my second favorite.
It's easily my favorite Mario of all time.
Yeah, I don't think anything's ever going to be Mario World to me, but good lord, Odyssey came close. It was
Super Mario Odyssey easily has like the best controls of any game I've ever played. At no point did I die and think it was the game's fault. It was clearly my fault every time. It's just so good. Every kingdom is just like a breath of fresh air and vastly different from the others. Plus, the capture mechanic brought a lot to Mario. And it kept all the platforming that we know and love, and just, it added stuff. It didn't subtract anything, it just added.
Yeah.
The main good thing that came out of Odyssey, I think, was ever since New Super Mario Brothers, pretty much every game has felt like New Super Mario Brothers. Even 3D World, 3D Land, all that. Galaxy 2 might have been in there somewhere, and that was pretty different. But it all had that same feel. It was a Mario game, but it had no soul, is the only way I can think to describe it. And Odyssey brought it back. Odyssey brought Mario back to his charming, normal platform itself. And it's just great. Go, if you have a Switch and you don't have Mario Odyssey, I don't know what you're doing with your life. And if you don't have a Switch, you should get one, because Mario Odyssey is incredible.
And with that being said, we're moving on to the Game of the Year. If you haven't guessed by our wardrobe, I don't know what you're looking at, but our Game of the Year is easily Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Holy crap, was this game amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know about easily. Odyssey was a contender, but
for me it was easy. Because I haven't gotten lost in a game as I did with Breath of the Wild ever. I stayed up until like 7 a.m. about a dozen times playing this game. I couldn't stop. I mean, I would just be wandering the fields and I'd see a bokoblin and I'm just like, I'm gonna go chase him, and then, you know, then there's a horse and I gotta catch him, and then there's a bear and I gotta ride him. There's just,
and then you like see a rock out of place and you're like, I bet there's a Korok.
Yeah.
And
just one more Korok seed was the lie I consistently told myself while I was going through that game.
I've never had more of a case of like gamer ADD in a game than with Breath of the Wild. Like, my side quests stayed backlogged for the longest time because I would just do meaningless stuff to just explore the world. That was the best part of that game to me, was the open worlds, and you, for the most part, if you thought it, you could do it.
The only real negativity in that game for me was that it ruined open world games for me.
Yeah.
They made everything fun to do. Everything was fun to explore. There was not a point where I felt like I was bored or grinding or anything like that. Even when I was grinding, it didn't feel boring like in other games.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to make myself stop at one point because I didn't want to. I was going to try to fully upgrade all the armors and everything, and it just was taking me too long, and I hadn't been to the story in a while, so I went back.
Yeah, I did that with the barbarian armor. I maxed it out first, and then it just made the rest of the game almost too easy, so I went back to some of my weaker armors, because I was like relatively early on in the game story-wise. But God, this game, just the best part about it is the world. Like, that can't be said enough. The dungeons are pretty okay on the Zelda scale. The bosses, again, okay on the Zelda scale. Still great, but the world is just, oh God, you can get lost in it for hours and do anything. I mean, you can make a flying machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just playing with this physics engine was one of the best parts of any Zelda game.
And the AI.
The AI is
really well
incredible
done.
because
I
they
love-
don't wait for you to attack one-on-one. They just like,
Yeah.
Bum rush you.
Yeah.
I loved throwing things off of cliffs and just seeing what the bokoblins did when it landed next to them, because sometimes they'd get confused, sometimes they'd get scared.
I like shooting beehives because they would run from them. But Breath of the Wild was long in development. It was promised to be just the biggest change to Zelda ever, and they did not disappoint. This game is incredible and has little to no flaws to it.